The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
This is Christine Langley with the Wyoming Women's Business Center, and I want to welcome you to Managing Inventory in QuickBooks, the desktop version. The Wyoming Women's Business Center is a nonprofit organization that helps people who want to start or expand small businesses, specifically in the state of Wyoming. And we do that through 3 programs. The first is business training and one-on-one counseling. The second is access to capital through our microloan program and individual development accounts programs. And lastly, our professional artist development center. So this QuickBooks training series is brought to you by our microloan program, which was started to provide access to funds for those unable to get business loans through traditional means. And so if you'd like more information on the microloan program, please contact Waldo Smith. And now I'd like to turn it over to Derek Campbell with Capital Clarity Company for our presentation today. Welcome, Derek.
Thank you, Christine. So like Christine mentioned, in this video, I'm going to show everybody how to manage their inventory in QuickBooks Desktop. So I work with many small businesses that stock inventory, but don't necessarily know the number of units they have on hand or on order at any given point in time, and really have no way of getting that information quickly. So if you use QuickBooks, you can also use QuickBooks to manage your inventory. This means you'll be able to track the number of items you have in stock and the value of your inventory after every purchase and after every sale. As you order inventory items, you'll receive the items, and then you'll later sell the items from the inventory you have. QuickBooks will help you track each inventory-related transaction, and then you'll know the status of your inventory and will have a more accurate picture of your business's assets. So to track inventory in QuickBooks Desktop, you're going to open your QuickBooks Desktop company file and make sure you're logged in as the admin user, at least at the beginning. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to the Edit menu and choose Preferences. And then you're going to select Items and Inventory and go to the Company Preferences tab. And then make sure this inventory and purchase orders are active is selected. This basically tells QuickBooks that you're going to track inventory, and then it also gives you the option to use purchase orders if you are interested in purchase orders as well. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to create a product or a product that you track the inventory for. So in order to do so, you're going to go to the Vendors tab, and then you're going to select the item list. And then down here in the bottom corner, there's the Items menu, and you're just going to click New. Next, in the type over here, you're going to choose an inventory, one of the inventory options. So I'm going to choose Inventory Part, and I'm going to give this item a name of books, because let's say I sell books in my business. If you want to make it a sub item of another book, you can do that here as well. The biggest thing is to put in a little description of what the book is for your purchase information and also on your sales forms. Next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to specify how much it costs you to purchase this. Now note that this information can be overridden at a later date. So if this is something that varies from time to time, I usually leave this as 0. But if you know you can always purchase each book at $10, that's perfect. You can put that information in here. And then you're going to select your cost of goods sold account. So what cost of goods sold is, when you create inventory, you're going to put that into an account on your balance sheet, and that's going to track as an asset. As you sell your inventory to your customer, that's when you're going to expense the inventory through your profit and loss. So essentially what you're doing is you're taking what you own, and then you're recognizing the cost of it as you sell each item. And we call that cost of goods sold. The biggest reason we track cost of goods sold is then we can track your gross margin. You want to make sure that what you're selling has a big enough margin over the cost of what you purchased it for that you can cover the rest of the expenses in your business, whether that's salaries, utilities, other general overhead, repairs, things of that nature. So if you have a specific cost of goods sold account you want to run this transaction through, I would select it from this menu. For now, I'm just going to use cost of goods sold. You can also select a preferred vendor. If you purchase these items from a specific vendor or you prefer a certain vendor, you can select it here and that will help pre-fill it when you create the purchase forms, which we'll get to in just a second. On the flip side over here on the sales side, so when you go to sell this book or these books, what's the sales price that you're going to sell them at? Let's say I mark them up $10. So I buy them for 10 and then I'm going to turn around and I'm going to sell them for 20. If they are taxable, select the sales tax rate from this spot and then select your income account that you want to use to track the income associated with this item. So when a customer purchases a book from you, where do you want to see that income show up on your profit and loss? For now, I'm going to use retail sales. The last thing we want to do is we have inventory information down here at the bottom. This asset account right here, when I was speaking about tracking your books on your balance sheet as an inventory item, this is the account you're going to select to show that up on your balance sheet. So for now, I'm going to use inventory asset, but you may want to create an account for books inventory. These next two are a feature of QuickBooks. The minimum and maximum are the reorder point from which QuickBooks will give you notifications saying that you're low on stock in this product, it's time to reorder. I'm going to leave these blank because I don't want QuickBooks to give me those notifications, but it is a useful tool if you're having trouble tracking what you need to order next. You can put in, if you're creating this item right now, but you have some in stock, you can put in the initial amount you have. Let's say I have 15, and QuickBooks is automatically going to create the total value of that. But if you know the total value is something different, you can modify that there. And then make sure you put in the date you last did your inventory account in this box here so you can keep that accurate. Then you'll just click OK. And it'll show up in your items list here. And that's how you'll manage it. So we're going to close the items list. And let's talk about when you receive items into inventory. So I went out to my vendor and I purchased more books so that I could turn around and sell them to my customers. I need to tell QuickBooks that I put more books into inventory. And in order to do so, I'm going to go to vendors and I'm going to click receive items. I'm going to select the vendor that I purchased the books from. For now, let's call it Connor Garden Supplies. The date that I purchased them on. If I have a reference number, I can put it in here and the total amount that I purchased. In the bottom section down here, I'm going to switch over to the items tab. So usually I'm in the expenses tab. I want to switch over to the items tab and I'm going to search for the item that I purchased. So in this case, it's the books that I created. And let's say that I purchased 150 books and they charged me $10 per book. So I basically purchased $1,500 worth of new inventory to put onto my balance sheet and to put into my warehouse so that I can sell them to my customers. You'll see that that total reflected up here and right here, and then I can click Save and Close. I've now put all of that information into my item list. So let's just check that again real quick. I'll go to the item list here and go to books, and you'll see the total quantity on hand has now increased up from that 15 I initially put in, and I've now added another 150. Now the next thing you'll do is you'll either create a sales receipt or an invoice to sell these books to your customers. So let's say I'm invoicing a customer. I have a customer that wants to purchase 15 books from me, and it's Adam's Candy Shop, and they're going to purchase 15 books. I'm going to sell them at $20 each, which means they're going to buy $300 worth of books, and I'm going to charge them 6.5% sales tax. If I wanted to send that, I could send it via email. Otherwise, I'm going to click Save and Close. What this is doing at this point in time is QuickBooks is now taking those items out of your inventory and moving them into your cost of sales account. So basically, that's doing two things. It's moving them out of your warehouse. It's telling you that you've now moved 15 books out of your warehouse and put them in the mail to send to your customer. But it's also moved the cost of those books down to your profit and loss to offset some of the income you received. So you sold the books for $20 per book, and then you purchase them for $10 per book. So that way you can track your margins a little bit better on your profit and loss statement. Another good video to check out for this would be our Understanding Your Balance Sheet and Understanding Your Profit and Loss Statement videos. They are available in the playlists associated with the respective software that you are looking for. With that, I want to thank you for watching our video, and I'm going to pass it back off to Christine.
Thanks, Derek. So the Wyoming Women's Business Center is made possible through several partnership agencies. Our primary funding comes from the U.S. Small Business Administration and the Wyoming Business Council. And so we're thankful for the support and guidance of all of our partners. If you have more questions for the Wyoming Women's Business Center, our contact information is listed on this screen. And again, if you have an interest in our microloan program and want to learn more, please contact Waldo Smith. Thanks everybody for joining us today.